Funny how.
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Ladies and gents, what is going on? Happy one of the days in December, whatever day you're listening this to. My name's Tony Barardo, and I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the holiday season. You know, the holiday season often brings some unwelcome guests. And no, I don't mean the in-laws, because they're very welcome, of course. But we're talking about the two shitty relatives, and that is stress and depression. Sometimes the holidays bring these folks. You know, it's no wonder, right? The holidays often present an annoying amount of demands, like cooking meals, shopping, stress of retail stores, baking, cleaning, entertaining. You know, sometimes we feel uncomfortable, right? Because of everything that we're doing, whether you're losing sleep or you're off your routine. But there are some practical tips you can minimize the stress that does accompany you during the holidays. You may even end up enjoying some of the holidays more than you thought you would if you follow these tips. So when stress is at its peak, it's hard to stop and kind of take your time and regroup, right? So to prevent stress and depression in the first place, especially if the holidays have taken an emotional toll on you in the past, you may kind of have anxiety prior to even leading up to the holidays, right? So I did find 10 ways to cope with stress during the holidays via Mayo Clinic. And if you don't want to listen to me, that's okay. I'll leave the article in the episode notes so you could take a look at that and you can kind of read through it. But I'm going to go through this pretty quick because, like most of you, I am getting ready for the holidays. So we want to go over these so I can implement these myself. So hopefully this helps you. So it starts off number 1, acknowledge your feelings. It says that it's okay to take time and cry to express your feelings. You can't really force yourself to be happy just because it's the holiday season. So there is no shame in being sad and crying and releasing these emotions because sometimes we all need a good cry. I know there's been some times in the recent past, actually, that crying really did help. And I had to sit in a corner and sulk and cry and release some emotions. And more often than not, you feel better about yourself afterwards. Number 2, reach out. If you're feeling lonely or maybe isolated, seek out community, religious, or social events that may help alleviate a little bit of that stress. You know, you might even be able to find some websites, online support groups, social media sites, or virtual events to help as well with that effort. If you're feeling stressed during the holidays, it may also help to talk to a friend or family member about these concerns. So try reaching out via text, maybe a call or video chat to get that support from that friend or family member. Including that, volunteering your time is also a great way to help others and lift your spirits in the process. Potentially may broaden your relationships and friendships with other people. For example, considering maybe dropping off a meal or dessert to a friend or family member during the holidays as a surprise. And this may actually give you a little defibrillator to get ready for the holidays. Number 3, be realistic. The holidays don't have to be perfect or maybe just like last year. As families change and grow, traditions and rituals often change as well. Don't get stuck in the past. Choose a few to hold on to, those rituals, but be open to creating new ones because that's the most exciting part about the holidays. For example, if your adult children or other relatives can't come to your home, find new ways to celebrate together, such as maybe sharing pictures, emails, or videos, potentially doing a video chat via virtually. Even though your holiday plans may look a little bit different this year, it doesn't mean that they're not as special. You can find other ways to celebrate. Number 4, set aside differences. You know, try to accept family members and friends as they are, even if they don't live up to your ridiculous expectations. Set aside grievances until the appropriate time to address these. Holiday dinner is probably not the time. Be understanding if others get upset or distressed when something goes awry. Chances are they're feeling the same effects of holiday stress as you are. Number 5, stick to a budget. Before you go off and go crazy with gift and food shopping, decide how much you can actually afford to spend. Then stick with that budget. Money is the most stressful things people deal with, us humans. So don't try to buy happiness with an avalanche of gifts, especially if you can't end up paying for it because it's just going to make you more depressed. Maybe try alternatives. Potentially a gift could be donating to a charity in someone's name, homemade gifts to save more money, do a family gift exchange, pick a vacation spot potentially, and all pitch in to do that together. Number 6, planning ahead. Set aside specific days for shopping, baking, and connecting with friends for other activities. Consider whether you can shop online to potentially save more time, or even plan menus and make a shopping list so that way you can duck out all your shopping in one shot. This will help prevent those last minute forgotten ingredients as well. It'll also help make sure you have plenty of time for meal prep and cleanup. Again, alleviating that stress. Number 7, learn to say no. Saying yes when you should say no can leave you feeling resentful or even overwhelmed. Friends and colleagues will understand if you can't participate in every project or activity, so do not be shy to say no every now and again. Number 8, don't abandon healthy habits. Don't let these holiday traditions or activities become a free-for-all, overindulging on things that may add to stress and guilt, perhaps overeating or not working out, lack of sleep, things like that. Try these suggestions instead. Have a healthy snack before holiday meals so that you don't go overboard on sweets, cheese, and drinks. Eat healthy meals. So perhaps maybe cook a little bit something healthier this year than you did in years past. Get plenty of sleep. Include regular physical activity in your daily routine, especially around the holidays. Maybe even go for a 10-minute walk after your meal. Do it as a family. It could be a great bonding experience. Try deep breathing exercise, meditation, or yoga. Avoid excess tobacco, alcohol, and drug use, or cut it out altogether. And another one is be aware of how the information culture can actually produce stress and adjust time so that you're not reading as much news or maybe consuming so much social media, because that could induce stress during this time. Number 9, take a breather. Make some of your time for you. Maybe find an activity you enjoy, perhaps you're with your spouse. Take a break by yourself. Spend just 15 minutes alone without any distractions, no phone. That way you can refresh everything so you can handle what is to come, or perhaps post-holiday to get you back on an even keel. Find something that reduces stress by clearing your mind, slowing your breathing, and restoring inner calm. Some options may include taking a walk at night, maybe stargazing with your spouse, listening to soothing music in a room, reading a book at the end of the night, things like that. Number 10, here's the last one. Seek professional help if you need it. Me, I'm just a dude hosting a podcast, reading from an article. I am no professional. So I would say if you do have stress or depression, whether it's during the holiday season or 365 days a year, do not be afraid to get physical help. There's plenty of websites and phone numbers you can call. I will leave that information in the episode notes as well. You don't want to pile on the stress. Sometimes as humans, we get really good at bottling things up, and year over year, holiday over holiday, we continue to hold in these negative feelings or maybe the stress or depression or anxiety. Eventually it'll just burst, whether that's in a negative way to ourselves or to our loved ones. So be sure to seek help if you do need it. And lastly, I will say this, don't let the holidays become something that you dread. Instead, maybe take steps to prevent the stress and depression that can descend during the holidays. For example, like the wife and myself, we're planning for our future, so we're not going crazy like we normally do. We've been on this tear the last year or two to where we're being very frugal with money, even though we always are really frugal, typically. In terms of like things and materialistic stuff, we're donating more time to people in need and doing kind things for other people versus trying to quote unquote buy our happiness. Not that we really did that, but I think subconsciously we did. That materialistic stuff is not going to be around in 10 years and 15 years. Focus on the things that you can control right now and focus on long-term health, physical health, mental health, and you're going to feel overall healthier. So as we go through the holidays, just learn to recognize those triggers, maybe like those financial pressures we're talking about or personal demands from other people. It's going to happen. Know what they are so you can prepare for it and look out for it so you don't trigger a meltdown. With little planning and some positive thinking, you can find peace and joy during this holiday season. If you follow these like I will, I have no doubt you're going to have a great holiday season. I wish you and your family nothing but love and kindness and good fortune. So until next time, I will see you later on the Bardo Podcast. Stay healthy, friends. Oh, hey there. First of all, thanks for making it to the end of this video. Not a lot of people do, according to the YouTube analytics, but I do want to say thanks for listening to this. There's some more episodes if you want to check those out, and they're all just as good. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out those timestamps below to reference some of the topics I talked about, as well as some discount links to some of our sponsors and affiliates. But thanks for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time.